Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today it's going to be a match between two young North Americans. It's going to be Future versus Astrea here on Eternal Empire, the latter edition. Bottom left-hand corner is the blue Protoss player. It is Astrea. And in the top right, it is the red Protoss player, Future. Now, Astrea's real name is Max Angel. I don't usually like to talk about players' real names, but Max Angel is such an incredible name, I can't help myself. Alright, so these two players are quickly rising the ranks of StarCraft 2. They are both very young. I want to see how they face off against each other. Face off against each other here on Eternal Empire so we can see how much they are progressing. Man, if you didn't watch my Future versus Scarlet 39-minute video from last week, go watch it, man. Future acquitted himself very well. I'm not going to tell you who won, but I will tell you that. Gateway expand. Barracks expand. Probe scouting. No SCV scouting. All the hallmarks of an early game PvT in the year 2020. Hit that like button if you're excited to see what these two young players can do against each other, because I am stoked for this matchup. I just want another Neeb. Right? I just want another Neeb. I want another American to win a premier championship. It hasn't happened for a while, and I want it. I am a greedy American in that regard. Yeah. Cybernetics core here before the Nexus, so it's not actually a one-gate expand. No Reaper, just a Marine. Because, you know, Reapers don't get anything done in TVP at this level. I know it's not Morrow, and I know it's not stats, but man, if you get to this level where you're competing for money, for big money, and doing well, yeah, your Reaper control can be as good as it gets, but it's basically going to be a scouting Reaper, not a probe-killing Reaper. Alright, so what are we doing? Anything nuts here? No, it looks like a 1-1-1er out of Future. Thus far, would not be shocked to see a starport coming on up. Are we going to open possibly Twilight, Astrea? Now that your Cyber Core is done and your Nexus is coming up, you need to choose your next tier of tech. You really can't sit here on tier 1. You can't go Stalker Zealot all the long day and win. Not generally, anyway. Shield Battery is up. He's worried about the Reaper. Man, alright, so there's not one. Interestingly enough. Are we going to get a starport out of Future? Come on. He's going to swap. Okay, so swap add-ons. Going to throw the reactor onto the factory, which tells me Hellions. And then start your starport, which is totally fine. Adept trying to get some stuff done. And you know what? Killing a Marine is a lot easier than chasing down and killing a Reaper. Oh, God, that just finished. That command center just barely finished. That was massive that Future got that thing finished. Delaying that would have been humongous for Astrea, giving him a massive advantage. Is he still... Okay, thank goodness. Robotics facility and a Twilight Council. Oh, is he trying Blink Micro shenanigans? Oh, look at this. Stalker shows up. He's like, hey, you made some Hellions to deal with my Adept buddy, didn't you? Guess who's here now? Stalker friend! So you delay your tech a little bit, but you can deny mining for quite some time here in Future's natural base. I love this build from Astrea very, very much. Gonna take down an SCV. I do want to say, okay, a couple things about this game. This was at the request of Alchemy, a member of my Discord, who's been in the Discord server, I think, since pretty much day one. Alchemy's been around for a long time. Good dude, Alchemy. And the other thing is I do need a quick shout out for JLC. JLC is another member of the Discord server. He watches me on Twitch a lot. He earned enough channel points to get a shout out for his Twitch channel. There's a link to the Twitch channel in the description. It is Clark1010, I believe is what it is. So if you want to check him out, give that a click. He was playing Ghost of Tsushima last I checked, so he is into that, you know, AAA late game stuff. If you're interested in seeing somebody play something like that, definitely give him a check. He is a fun follow. But yeah, check him out. Clark1010 on Twitch. You won't regret it. Observer scouting on in. Hellions trying to see what they can do. And, oh, there's nothing. Is there anything? Oh, he just hardwalled, man. It's like, I saw the number of Hellions you had. I'm not going to let you do the Reaper Grenade, pop my Stalker out of the way, and your Hellions run in and kill them all with my stuff trick. No way, Jose. I'm going to hardwall you. You're never getting through there with these Hellions. Maybe in like a million years you will. Can he find an angle to hit that? He can, but the high ground Stalkers are a problem. You don't want to take damage doing that. I like Astrea. I really like what Astrea is doing right here. I do. We've got a Viking in production. because he's really worried about this warp prism that's moving out. I mean, I don't think he has any direct indication this is happening. He has not scanned the main base. Oh, okay, so the Stalkers came down and they're going to fight. I don't know about this. Good micro. My golly, one of the Stalkers actually dies, but guess what? Other neighborhood Stalkers. There is a Reaper. What? I just realized that I didn't do a Reaper name for that, but he wasn't first. You don't get a Reaper name if you're made after the Marine, unfortunately. I'm sorry to tell you. What the heck is killing probes? Ah, there's a Liberator. Liberator with a natural base. Couple probes go down. Good reaction time from Astrea. Not losing much on that one, indeed. Warp Prism from Astrea. Thinking about sneaking on over. This is definitely a Blink Stalker all-in style thing out of Astrea. So let's see what he can get done here. Dude, is there nothing here from Future? Is he just going to die to this? Oh my gosh, that tank is dead. You're not repairing it. Nope. SCVs are fighting. That's not good. An additional warping of Stalkers. Dude, this is the parting build. It doesn't have Parting's micro necessarily here, but by golly. Oh, that tank's dead. Blinking on top of the tank. There's a Marauder out. 4 SCVs have gone down already. It's not the end of the world here, I don't think, for Future quite yet. He actually kills a Stalker. This Marauder doing serious work right now, but does end up going down. 13 SCVs have been killed again, but that's your good game. And game 1 of our sneaky twofer is complete here on Eternal Empire. It was enough. Future recognized his army composition was 2 Marines versus 9 Stalkers. He was down 43 to 31 total workers. Is not good. It is not a good thing here. At the end of the day, the income was horribly favoring Astrea. A lot of the SCVs were off the line, in entire fairness, and he just can't hold the Stalkers is the problem, right? Maybe if the Stalkers allow themselves to all get surrounded by these SCVs and die, possibly. But look, the additional warp, that's the additional warp in, and he knows he's done. So that was game 1. Interesting, really well done by Astrea, I would say. He was able to scout out. Okay, so he almost delayed the construction rather, of this command center, which was very close to awesome. And then he shows up with a Stalker, denies all mining here for some time while he's happily probing up back home. He walls off hard because he recognizes his Blink Stalkers don't need to be able to get out anywhere. They can blink through anything. And it also protects him from the Hellions that he knew were coming because he scouted up and saw their reactor factory. Just beautiful. Just a beautiful aggressive play out of Astrea. Future was not quite prepared for it. He had a couple tanks out, but 1 tank at each location is not going to be enough versus these many Blink Stalkers. It is so hard for 1 tank to do anything against 8 Stalkers like that. And this is exactly what we saw. So let's move on into game number 2 of our sneaky twofer. We'll be right back. Game 2 of our sneaky twofer is here on Pillars of Gold. Bottom left, it is Future. Top right, Max Angel. Alright, Future, you need to figure out how to hold off of that Blink Stalker all in off of 2 bases, because you're going to be seeing it a lot, I feel like, the rest of 2020. This is from ESL's DreamHack Summer. They were kind enough to release the replays, and I've been having a lot of fun casting them. Woo! Alright, man. So Astrea, Gateway inside his base, and there are no SCVs outside of Future's main, so it's not going to be a proxy. Pillars of Gold. A pretty darn straight shot here for a rush distance, but actually, hold on. Let's go. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad as far as rush distances go, but it's not fantastic either. And again, the distance is pretty far at the same time, so not a great map for rushing. Not a great map for necessarily anything crazy like a cannon rush, which is not what Astrea is going for here, or else this would be a forge. But barracks coming up here from Das Future. And Astrea gonna do a Cyber Core. Alright, so again, likes getting the Cyber Core before the Nexus. Likes getting some pressure out, right? Pressuring this little expansion that Future's gonna try to take without much defense. I kind of love it. It's kind of like the Max Packs build a little bit, except it's not proxy, but you definitely show up with a Zealot and a Stalker at the Terran base and make them hate their life for a bit. So Future, I mean, the more this can be delayed by Astrea, the better it is for Astrea, because last time, right, if he'd managed to delay construction on this just a couple more seconds, that's a delayed command center. That is an incomplete command center, which is bad news bears. If you happen to be, you know, someone whose name is Future. Adept out first, and then might get a Stalker. I guess it wasn't a Zealot, it was an Adept and a Stalker, right? Yeah, that was pretty good. Dude, Future, are you doing the same build? That's a reactor. I assume we're going to get a factory now. There it is. Factory now. Alright, guys. I really don't know why Future do the exact same thing here, but I guess Astrea is kind of doing the exact same thing, too. There's your Stalker. Alright, so that probe is just... I mean, the probe is dead. Wanted to get a hit off. Like, one hit on that Marine means that the... Oh, there was a Zealot now. Means that the Adept can two-shot it instead of three-shotting it, which is really, really nice. Future's like build. I don't know. I don't know about this. I think the Adept's going to go after the SCV and the Zealot's going to go after the Marine. Oh, that's definitely... Okay, bam. Done. Delayed. Horrible news. Worst terrible situation for Future. What's he going to do? He's making Marines this time. So he actually has some units that might be able to do something about this. Another SCV comes in, but there's a Stalker now here as well. This pressure build from Astrea is so cool. The Zealot's trying to get hits up, but really just buffering, I think, damage that the Marines would otherwise be putting onto the Adept. Oh my, they can't. They cannot possibly kill this command center. Future will be toast. There's an expansion on the way from Astrea. He's not really sacrificing much economy to do this. All right, so the Hellions a problem. The Stalker needs... Oh, good hit. Great hit. Adepts versus Hellions are weird, because they both do bonus damage to each other. And then the Marines are a big-time problem. Okay, so Future solved that problem. Future's like, all right, so I just have a lot of Marines, and they pretty well counter most of what's going on here in the early stages. It hurts my economy a little bit, but... Oh, that Stalker goes down. Hang on, but the Marines are all dead. Oh, no, the tables have turned. How the tables have turned. Okay, so that Zealot is dead, but you only have a couple of Hellions. Ooh, jeez. And a Marine. Okay, at least the command center finished for Future. That's massive. Oh, simultaneous kill. Hellion takes down the Stalker. Simultaneously. Dude, this Adept, though, has 2 kills. Is very brave. This is another Stalker. This is just non-stop walking across the map shenanigans. Bam. Marine dead. Good snipe. SCV in a lot of mortal trouble. Another Marine dead. SCVs have to fight for their lives. Look at this. Happily mining probes over here. I think this is Astrea just kind of outclassing Future a little bit here, man. That Adept, oh my gosh, that Adept shaded out. Escaped with 4 kills. This Stalker is going to get 4 kills. There's your 4th. 3 SCVs have gone down. It's only SCVs fighting right now, which is not super ideal. Dude, this Adept is back. This Adept is back with a vengeance. Finally, there's a tank that comes out from Future. And that should shut this down quite nicely. 1 Stalker not going to do great versus a tank. 8 Stalkers, as we saw in the last game, going to do great there. But that's not what we have. Astrea just continuing to warp in Stalkers at home. Getting an Observer. And is up 40 to 30 workers. Happily mining off of 2 bases. Future is now happily mining, but he's getting a 3rd base at the same time. So, yeah. I would say at this stage, Astrea is ahead. Although income pretty darn even at this stage because of them mules. 2 mules in action right now for Future. Actually, 4 mules in action right now for Future. Maybe he wasn't spending his energy all that well. Adept. Oh, good lift by Future. That's something you got to practice, too. If there's an Adept coming and you see it, lift that supply depot at the last second. Make it so it can't get on in. I don't know what this probe's doing other than maybe watching for medevac drops that might be coming his way, but there's not much of an army here, honestly, for Future. He's got 4 Marines, a Raven, and a Stalker. Not that Astrea's army is huge either. He's got 5 Stalkers and an Adept. So, kind of some low econ. First, for StarCraft 2 in 2020, this is low econ, where they're both at like 40 workers. But, yeah, the army sizes aren't humongous. I love this pressure build out of Astrea. I really am enjoying it immensely. So, is he going to blink in? Does he have blink? He got blink. Of course he has blink. What else are we doing with Stalkers out here? If you don't have blink, ooh, wanted to get that Raven, but wasted a blink to kind of get a couple shots off on it. Okay, so Future, just kind of hanging out. He's worried about the Stalkers coming on up. He's got Marines. Marines trade pretty darn well against Stalkers. You have to micro the crap out of Stalkers to deal well with Marines, assuming costs are even. And that was not costs are even. That was 1 Marines versus like 8 Stalkers. All right. So, 54 to 46 total workers. Notice how the income is back in Astrea's favor now that the mules have all expired. It doesn't have 4 running at the same time anymore. Although it does have 2. There are 2 mules running. Additional warp gates coming on up here. He just chrono boosted his Twilight Council for to finish up charge. I mean, the longer the game goes on, the more you need some splash damage. So I guess that would be what the Templar Archives is about. That's what Storm would be about. Because as this bio starts getting larger, or as the bio ball starts getting larger and larger here for future, which is what he's doing. He's getting combat shield, he's getting stim, he's making marauders, he's making metavacs. You're going to need something that is splashy. Colossus can be pretty good, Disruptors can be good, Storm can be really good. Storm can be the bane of Terran players' existence for all of time and eternity. They hate it. But yeah, I love the vision Astrea has. He's just got stalkers kind of patrolling, hanging out different areas, wants to know when the Terran is going. So he can actually warp in an army. That stalker's like, I see you. Let's get through these... whatever the heck is venting there. Is that gas? It's like light shining up, and then there's vapor coming through it as well. So he knows. He wants Storm to be done. Because he can't engage with this if he doesn't have Storm. Charge lots? I don't know. Charge lots might be... okay in the situation, but he's warping a couple High Templar. Storm is done. Future kind of dithered around long enough to allow Storm to complete and High Templar to join the battle. Oh my gosh, there's so many High Templar. Okay, so Astrea's fine. You kind of played that like a Zerg a little bit. Just waiting until the last second to get his army up, to get his tech up. That Zealot suicides himself. It recognizes, oh, don't come up this ramp. Ow, that's so harmful. Coming up that ramp is a terrible idea. What the heck is killing? Oh, he brought all the boys. Okay, he brought some SCVs here. He feels like he's behind, which is totally understandable. Meanwhile, Astrea's going to warp in some charge lots into your main base, and you have almost nothing to stop this from happening. So, Storm, anti-armor missile. Good connection. Great connection on the anti-army missile right there. Anti-army missile? Dude, you got to do it, though. Astrea, you got to do the warping thing. I know you're both really worried about this attack. Good storms. Again, not stacking them because they don't stack. I think he might have whittled it down enough here. Additional charge lots warped in. Some of them warped inside the main. And Astrea is your winner there in 9 minutes and 8 seconds. I don't know what else to say other than it looks like Astrea is head and shoulders above Future right now. I don't know what else... how else to express it, man? That was amazing. Shoot. I just well done by Astrea. I don't know what else to say there. He was so good with the early pressure. He really delayed Future's economy quite nicely. Made some good trades early there. Ooh, army size is 2? Oh, that's so nice. I should use 2 more. Oh, good. So this is 1 income advantage, which is massively in favor of Astrea. He's on 3 bases. Future knew it. He brought some SCVs along, hurt his economy in the process, tried to make something happen. The storms are just too much. There's too many storms from Astrea. Storm finished like 4 seconds before the attack came in. He had several High Templar already. He made some more. He had some charge lots to warp in to absorb some damage. He had some shield batteries to fall back to here. Even if he'd lost this 3rd base, he would still could have fallen back to the natural mid and defined position because, again, Future brought those SCVs and it was something of an all-in. Just dead impressive. I mean, if we look at this, resources lost are, fairly even when all is said and done. A lot of High Templar died. That's a problem for Astrea, but he won the game, so in the end, not too much of a problem. 13 Zealots went down. 51 Marines, 4 Marauders, 2 tanks, 2 Ravens, and again, the Storm was the key. A lesser Protoss player would have been late on that Storm, and it wouldn't have been enough. Incredible. All right. Well, shoot. That's going to be it from me today then. Couple of some shorter games for your sneaky twofer. Nothing really went into macro style, but that's kind of what PvT is these days. It's harder to find the longer ones that go 20, 25, 30 minutes. So we, just see what's up, right? See what's going on here in the world of PvT, and this is what's happening. It's a lot of Protoss having some nice advantages here. Terran having some nice advantages as well. I loved the anti-armor missile that got tossed down. That was fantastic, but just Future was too far behind. Astrea, he zerged it. He really did. He made a bunch of probes. He had a massive worker count advantage. He had a base account advantage. He didn't have much of an army, and then he got his army and his tech when he needed it and was able to hold off Future's attack. That really, again, felt like a Zerg kind of a thing to do. With the exception of maybe the early harass. That's not something Zergs really like to do, but... Okay, Sarah. All right, well, that's going to be it from me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button. hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself. Watching?